Okay, welcome friends to another interesting video. As you know, we have 27 nakshatras or lunar mansions. Now, out of these 27 nakshatras, which nakshatras carry the promise of early marriage, early settlement, or you can say, even getting into a committed relationship, serious relationship early in life? So, that will be the topic of today's discussion. Nakshatras that promise early marriage or committed relationship early on in life. So do subscribe. If you want personal consultation, you can get in touch with me. Details are in the video description. Let's quickly have a look at the sample chart. Okay friends, so welcome to the sample chart. So this is the chart of a native. You need to find out what is the nakshatra which is prominent in this native's horoscope. Okay, this is a Leo ascendant. You can see this native is a Leo ascendant. Now this native married very early in life. Okay, she got married in her even early 20s, very early. Actually just before attaining the age of 20 she got married, so very early. So in her case, ascendant lord is sun. Ascendant lord is sun. You can see this ascendant lord is in Purvaphalguni Nakshatra, and the ascendant itself is also in Purvaphalguni Nakshatra. We can see Venus is also there. All right. So Purvaphalguni Nakshatra is a nakshatra which carries the promise of early marriage. Again, it will depend on various factors. Okay, Venus shouldn't be afflicted, seventh lord shouldn't be afflicted, the nakshatra in which seventh lord is placed, that shouldn't be afflicted, and if the dasha of the seventh lord is going on, then seventh lord should not be afflicted. So those conditions will have to be fulfilled. So if there is no other major affliction in the horoscope pertaining to relationship matters, pertaining to 7th house, then if Lagna or ascendant lord, if it falls in Purvaphalguni Nakshatra, then early marriage is possible. This native got married very early in life. Yes, after certain years of marriage, there were certain ups and downs, friction in the relationship, but even now this native is in a marital relationship with her husband. Now also, if you look at the moon is in Aquarius. For this particular native, moon is in Purvabhadrapada Nakshatra. Moon in Purvabhadrapada and in Aquarius. Okay, so this again, it shows that Purvabhadrapada Nakshatra also carries the promise of early marriage and a very heavily karmic connection, because after all it falls in the sign of Aquarius, ruled by Saturn and Rahu, co-ruled by Rahu also, Aquarius, heavily karmic connection. Now that does not mean that other nakshatras, or that does not mean that if it's someone else's horoscope, or in case of any other native, a marriage is not karmic. Marriage is always a karmic connection. It is always a highly karmic relationship. It is a karmic connection. That is why you met your life partner in this life, or you're going to meet someone in this life and you're going to get married. Why? Because there is some connection from one of the past lives. So marriage is always a karmic connection. But in case of Purvabhadrapada people, what happens? They are very much under this karmic connection influence, Purvabhadrapada. Why? Because after all, this nakshatra falls in Aquarius. That is one reason. And Aquarius is a highly a zodiac sign which shows a lot of karmic backlog, which has to be definitely cleared in this life and which is going to be manifested, because Aquarius is that sort of sign. And even Purvabhadrapada Nakshatra is in Pisces, it may fall in Pisces. In the case of this native, it is in Aquarius, but Purvabhadrapada may fall in Pisces also. Pisces also shows, it is a zodiac sign which shows some connection, spiritual connection, which may be connected to definitely past lives. So yes, every marital relationship is a karmic bond, definitely. But if Aquarius, Pisces, Scorpio, even Capricorn, especially if these signs are involved, then they become heavily karmic, and the karmic intensity, the intensity of that karmic bond will be so high that it may get manifested early on in life. So that's what. Because a lot of karma is attached to relationship. In the 7th house itself, you have this Purvabhadrapada Nakshatra. In the 1st house, in the Lagna, even Venus, Ascendant Lord, there you have Purvaphalguni. So both the nakshatras, Purvaphalguni, Purvabhadrapada, they are signaling early marriage. And that's what happened exactly in the case of this particular native. So let's quickly move on to the nakshatras, which carry the promise of early marriage. Now, before I move on to each of the nakshatras, I would like to give you a disclaimer that definitely these are certain predictions based on nakshatras, but there are various other factors. Now, if the 7th lord or the nakshatra in which the 7th lord is placed, if it gets afflicted, then early marriage may not happen, will not happen actually. So exceptions will always be there. So it's not that all these nakshatras, maybe you have a prominent nakshatra, maybe either your sun or moon or ascendant lord, or even your 7th lord maybe is in any of these nakshatras, and you will it's not that it'll always manifest. So exceptions will be there. If the 7th lord is afflicted, and if you're running the Mahadasha of the 7th lord which is afflicted, then it will be very difficult. Even if you have any of these nakshatras which I'm going to discuss, by having any of these nakshatras, I mean having any prominent planet in any of these nakshatras, major planets like your ascendant lord, sun, moon, or even Venus, because Venus is the planet of relationship, or even maybe 7th lord, then what will happen? You may get these results that if any of these nakshatras is powerfully placed and the nakshatra lord is also well placed in the horoscope in D1 and D9, then there is a possibility that there can be early marriage or early relationship or settlement, or you may give commitment to someone early in life, and you may be in a committed relationship or marriage. So now the first nakshatra which can fall in this list is undoubtedly Ashwini. Ashwini, ruled by Ketu, planet Ketu, and it falls in Aries, so sign lord is Mars. So why early marriage? Because Ashwini Nakshatra people, they are characterized by a sense of restlessness, impulsiveness, and very passionate by nature. Yes, they will believe in commitment, and they will believe in a committed relationship, but they're always looking for a very passionate connection. So because Ashwini people they also are they're eager to explore relationships. So they may quickly, without thinking much also, because they believe in action, they may give commitment because they want to explore how things pan out after that. So they're always seeking new experiences, Ashwini natives. So yeah, because of their restless, impatient, passionate nature, Alright. They can also easily get attracted to someone, or they themselves can attract desirable people, and they may fall in a committed relationship. Possible early in life. And Ashwini Nakshatra, the deity is the Ashwini Kumaras, who are known for their speed, agility, who are known for also, their youthfulness and attractiveness. They are very attractive, youthful. So all these qualities Ashwini natives also can have. Alright. They can also be intuitive by nature. And the symbol is also the horse or the horse's head. So the animal symbol is also the horse, which stands for pace and movement and even restlessness. So all these things suggest that Ashwini natives can definitely fall in love or be in a relationship early in life, and they can give commitment also. And so early marriage is a possibility. Now let's move on to the next nakshatra, which also carries the promise of early marriage or early committed relationship, and that is Rohini. Rohini Nakshatra falls in Taurus. Taurus is a sign which is ruled by Venus. Rohini Nakshatra is ruled by planet Moon. So it is the nakshatra of beauty, fertility, sensuality. Rohini Nakshatra. The deity is Prajapati, Lord Brahma. Okay? So, who is the creator? So they are very fertile, creative, also sensual, sensuous by nature. And the symbol of Rohini is the chariot that believes in progress, movement, growth, expansion in life. And the animal symbol is also, the serpent that stands for sensuality, fertility, even secrecy. So Rohini natives, they themselves can be attractive, and they may attract people easily, and they can definitely be in a relationship, committed relationship or marriage early in life, because they are seeking pleasure, love. So definitely, after all, Taurus, it falls in Taurus, and Taurus is ruled by Venus. So they believe in relationship, they believe in togetherness. So they believe in seeking pleasures, even sensual pleasures. They are beauty lovers also. So definitely they can be in relationship even in their early 20s. Committed relationship or even early marriage is possible. Now let's move on to the next nakshatra, which carries the promise of early marriage, and that is Mrigashira. Mrigashira Nakshatra ruled by planet Mars. Again, the planet of restlessness, youthfulness and passion. And Mrigashira falls in Taurus and Gemini. If it is in Taurus, then early commitment and even marriage, definitely. Because Mrigashira Nakshatra, if it falls in Taurus, these people, they will be curious to explore their relationship with someone, yes. Because Mrigashira always lends that curiosity to the native. So they will be curious to explore their connection with someone, and they will believe in a committed relationship. But if Mrigashira Nakshatra is in Gemini, then they will be very explorative by nature. So they could be also in multiple relationships, or it could be like they could be in a relationship and then they may have a breakup, and then they can find themselves in a relationship again. Because Mrigashira in Gemini, which is also the sign of exploration, restlessness and even impatience. So They will be very eager, very curious to explore their connection with someone. But again, they may easily get bored also in the relation and then move on to someone else. That is possible. But yes, if Mercury is well placed, then it is also possible that after a number of relationships, they will settle down with someone. That is also possible. Mrigashira is ruled by Lord Soma. Lord Soma is Lord Chandra, who is the moon. So Mrigashira natives can be good looking. They can be very sensual or sensuous. That is why the moon is also the planet of restlessness. So they are known for being restless, curious to explore things. All these qualities. Curious to gain new experiences. So they can definitely, want to be eager to make friendship with people, and then finally they may feel like being in a romantic connection with someone, because Soma or Chandra, or there is a moon, also stands for emotional connection. They want emotional security also in the relationship. And Mars gives them that passion. So emotional yet passionate connection is something that they are looking for. And they can also settle down with someone early on in life, especially if it is in Taurus. In Gemini, they could still be confused for some time before they finally settle down. Now let's move on to the next nakshatra, which can promise early marriage, and that is Magha Nakshatra. Magha Nakshatra falls in Leo, and Magha Nakshatra is ruled by planet Ketu, and it falls in Leo, so the sign lord is Sun. Sun Ketu energy. Very royal. Yes, Magha is believed to be a royal nakshatra because it falls in the royal sign of Leo. Leo the king. So they give a lot of importance to their own family tradition, their values, tradition, their culture, their heritage, their roots. They're very particular about their family heritage, prestige, tradition, all those values which they are carrying, which have been passed down to them or passed on to them by their ancestors, and which now they are eager to pass on to the future generation. So Magha people, they could be compelled by their family to get into marital ties with someone. It's a family custom to get married at a certain age, so that offsprings or the new generation, they can come up and they can also carry forward this family tradition. So and Magha people, they can also be, they are people again who believe in love, because you see Leo ruled by planet Sun. So they believe in spiritual connection, romantic connection, and true spiritual love. And Magha people, they are very particular about the fact that if they are in a relationship, it has to be a committed, serious relationship. They cannot think of a relationship which is casual, generally. Again, if Sun and Ketu are more or less well placed in the horoscope, they will look for serious, committed relationship, and bound or compelled by family tradition. They are, they have certain responsibilities they are carrying on their shoulders. They have to maintain a certain legacy. So they need to settle down, and they need to see to it that at the right age they can give birth to their young ones who will also now carry the family tradition forward. So they can also marry early in life, because Ketu is also the planet which can make them a little restless also at times. So, though again if Ketu is well placed, it will denote that they have a lot of respect for their tradition and culture and values. So they will stick to that and they will believe in marriage and procreation. So yeah, all these things about Magha. Now let's move on to the next nakshatra, which carries the promise of early marriage, Purvaphalguni. Purvaphalguni, the fun-loving, playful nakshatra ruled by Venus. Purvaphalguni ruled by Venus. It falls in Leo. Leo ruled by Sun. Sun is the planet of, spiritual connection, even spiritual love, true love and romance. And Venus is also the planet of relationship, attachment, attraction. Okay? So definitely these people, they can get attracted to someone because they are so, they're just like that fertile blossom or flower who is eager to, find company. They don't want to live alone. All right? So they can't live alone. They are eager to find a partner. Yes. So Purvaphalguni people, again, Venus-Sun combination. So relationship, but yes, it has to be a committed relationship. They cannot think of any relationship which is just going to be casual. It has to be a relationship where their partner is going to commit to them or give them commitment. So they can, fall into or get into early commitments. And if they give commitment, because they also are craving for relationship, they're craving for true love, actually, Purvaphalguni. So then that desire can drive them to get into early relationship, committed one, or even early marriage. So, yeah, Purvaphalguni people, they want that they should have a relationship which should be based on true romantic connection, a spiritual connection also. At the same time, there has to be healthy give and take, because after all, ruled by Venus. Alright? It also has to be a relationship where the person is committed, but they also should be pleasure seeking and pleasure giving. So they're also seeking pleasures. Definitely, Purvaphalguni people. The ultimate end of being in relationship is to seek pleasures and give pleasures. They believe in, celebrating life, celebrating togetherness. So they want to be in relationship with someone and a committed relation. So there is a high possibility that these people, they can attract love, relationship early on in life, and they can fall into commitment, and they can also go for early marriage. Now let's move on to the next nakshatra which can promise early marriage or early committed relation. And that nakshatra is undoubtedly Swati. Alright. Swati Nakshatra, ruled by planet Rahu, the planet of desires, the planet of attraction, magnetic pull, even addiction, obsession with someone. So ruled by Rahu. Basically, this is also Swati Nakshatra is the nakshatra of independence, freedom. Now, but again, Swati Nakshatra is ruled by also Lord Vayu, Vayudeva, the god of the winds. So they believe in independence, individuality. Alright, but they also crave for relationship. Because Swati Nakshatra, after all, it falls in Libra, and Libra is ruled by Venus. So they crave for a partner. They want to explore the world, but not alone. with someone by their side who could be their partner in crime, as they say. So, who could be, a partner with whom they can share everything. But again, a partner who would be understanding, who would also give them space, who would give them that room or that space to grow independently also. So they're craving for such a partner who believes in healthy give and take, understanding, friendship. A partner who also believes in live and let live. So Swati people are craving the company of such a partner. And also because they are so free-spirited and they believe in independence, they believe in their own private space. So they don't like interference of family too much in their matters. Healthy interference up to a certain age, yes, but they don't like interference generally. So they want to grow happily with someone and they want to attract their, divine masculine or divine feminine early on in their life. They want to attract love, relationship, and they also fall in love or they enter into relationship. And it's possible that it may happen early in life. Because Swati people, the breeze of Swati, as they say, because it's the Vayu Nakshatra, so they believe in independence. They're so free-spirited and they believe in exploring the world together with their partner because it's in Libra. So they give a lot of importance to relationship and they can be social, they like to interact with people, interact with the world at large, and so they can definitely form some special intimate relationship with someone, and they could be in commitment or in a committed relationship or even enter into marriage. So that was all about Swati, and now finally let's move on to the nakshatra, the final nakshatra, which can signify early marriage or early committed relation. Now this is the final nakshatra which I'll discuss today. That does not mean that there is no other nakshatra which can also signal some sort of early relation. It can, maybe, definitely. So, but then you have to have your logic, justification behind it. In my analysis and research, I have, noticed that all these nakshatras, after analyzing various horoscopes also, I have seen that these nakshatras, they strongly carry the promise of early marriage. But there could be maybe one or two or a few more nakshatras which you have found in your analysis. So this is not conclusive. This is just a humble attempt to share what I have found, to share my findings with you. So let's quickly move on to the final nakshatra which can promise early marriage. So today the final nakshatra which I'll talk about is Purvabhadrapada. Purvabhadrapada, it's ruled by Jupiter. It's ruled by Jupiter and it falls in Aquarius and Pisces. So it falls in Jupiter, so definitely it can lend optimism to the native. The native definitely will want growth, expansion in their life. And also these people, Purvabhadrapada people, they are also people who will fall into some karmic connection, and it can happen very early in their life. Because Purvabhadrapada people, it falls in the zodiac signs, this nakshatra, Aquarius and Pisces. And that means that, some karmic connection which is definitely connected to their past life or one of their past lives. So that karmic connection is going to manifest early in life in case of Purvabhadrapada people. And because of that past life connection, some karmic connection, they're going to meet someone. Okay, their paths are going to cross. And finally they can give commitment to each other and they can be in relationship. It's a heavily karmic relationship. Now if Jupiter is not so well placed, Purvabhadrapada is ruled by Jupiter. If Jupiter is not so well placed in the horoscope, and if Purvabhadrapada Nakshatra has connection with your 7th Lord or Venus, and or 7th house, and also say if Jupiter is not well placed, Jupiter is also the significator of husband anyway in Vedic astrology. In Parashari Jyotish, Jupiter is significator of the husband in the chart of a female native. And in the chart of every native, Jupiter is the significator of fortune, growth and expansion. So when Jupiter gets afflicted, then definitely there can be obstacles. Because marriage is also an institution, which also carries the promise of growth and expansion in life, future growth, expansion. So all that is possible also through marriage. So if Jupiter is afflicted, means your fortune, some obstacles in attaining good fortune, some obstacles in attaining growth, expansion. All right. So then also generally what will happen, these people, they may, because there's a karmic connection with someone, they will quickly maybe give them commitment. But if Jupiter is not well placed, what will happen? They may have to suffer eventually in their relationship. It's possible. But if Jupiter is well placed, then it can be a wonderful relationship, a marriage which can give them a lot of prosperity, which can bestow upon them a lot of prosperity. It's possible. Now, depends on how Jupiter is placed in the horoscope, and also look at the zodiac signs. Purvabhadrapada falls in Aquarius. Aquarius is ruled by Saturn. Also find out how the sign lord is placed. Purvabhadrapada may also be placed in Pisces. Pisces is again ruled by Jupiter. If it is in Aquarius, look at Saturn. Also you can look at Rahu, because Rahu is also believed to co-rule Aquarius. When you look at all of these things, the Nakshatra Lord, the sign Lord, how they are placed, then you can decode things about the relationship, or about what sort of, even if there is early marriage, whether you're going to be happy with your person or not. Alright. But Purvabhadrapada people generally, it is seen that even in their early 20s it's possible, or even in their 20s they can, early 20s, they can fall in relationship and they can fall in love, and they may give commitment to someone, and they may get into the institution of marriage. It's possible. Alright, because it is, a heavily karmic connection, and that karmic connection has to manifest itself. So it will manifest early in life. Alright, so that is a high possibility. Now if somehow in the horoscope of the native, the 7th Lord or the nakshatra of the 7th Lord, or even Jupiter, if they are again heavily afflicted, then the marriage may not be even successful. But if Jupiter is well placed, if their 7th Lord or nakshatra in which 7th Lord is placed, if they are well placed, then the marriage can definitely be a lasting relationship also. So you have to analyze everything, how the nakshatra lord is placed. So Jupiter is the nakshatra lord of Purvabhadrapada, so how it is placed. But yes, if you have prominent planets, either the ascendant or ascendant lord, or sun, moon, even Venus or seventh lord in any of these nakshatras, then you may experience early marriage in this life. That's what I have seen. Let me know what you think about what I discussed in the comment section. And if you want personal consultation, details are there in the video description. And before I wind up, let us all be kind and compassionate, and let us all donate vegetarian food to people in old age homes, orphanages, people who are physically, mentally challenged. Let us also be charitable towards them. Let us be vegetarians. Let us be kind to all animals, birds and creatures. See you next time, friends. Thank you.